Hi and welcome back. So we want to go through the app that we are creating, R254. So this app is just simply going to assist us to create a list of food and be able to view them. So the first part was placing images inside our drawable. So we said we get like 6 images and place them inside our drawables. So as you can see, inside our drawables we have different kind of images that we can easily use to create our app. So we ensure you have 6 images that you have downloaded and you can place them into your drawables. So after that, after creating the activity and creating your images, then the next thing is in our activity main.xml, we want to come and create a simple grid view here. So we are going to create a simple grid view that will assist us to place our images. So the first thing, we just come to our layout and we'll change our layout, our activity main layout, from constraint to linear. So we change it from constraint to linear layout. So we have our linear layout placed nicely there. Then after we place our linear after we change our layout to linear layout, we are going to come to our grid activity and you're going to place a grid view. So you come to your palette and you're going to search for grid view. So you go to grid view and then you place your grid view there. So you have a grid view that you have placed there. So for the grid view, you're going to give it an ID. So the ID for the grid view will be, you can come and say grid view, then we can say list. We can say GV list food. So it's a grid view that will assist us to list our food items. Then we can now check our code and see what we have there. So we have a grid view and we have our linear layout. So we'll come back and work on this more later on after placing more items. So the other thing now we want to do after placing the grid view and putting some items here, we want to ensure that the grid view is listed in different ways. So we'll simply come and go to our code. So we'll go to our code. We come to the grid view as we've said, and then we'll simply come and place the horizontal. So we'll have some spacing here. So you can come to your grid view and now you give it. So you can say I want horizontal spacing, then you can give it 5 pt. Then you can say vertical spacing. So you go for vertical spacing, then you can say vertical spacing. I also want to have it at 5 pt. Then you can come and give it a column width. So you say, so what column width is, as you can see in the image that we want to achieve, we want the food items to be here and here. So we don't want them to be in sort of a list. So we come and give it a column width. So you can come and say column width. You can come and say maybe I want a column width of maybe, so you give it 64, which will work perfectly for us. So you can say 64 pt. So now you can see that the column width is of 64 pt. So we can also come in here and give our number of columns that we want. The number of columns that you want, you can say I want 3, 4, or you can say I want it to just auto fit. So depending on how it fits, then you can have your columns there. So you can see when you give it a width of 64, you have your first item here and second item here. So you'll have a list of 2. So if you want 3, you can say I want a list of 3, but as at now for us, we just want 2. So for our layout width and height, we'll leave it at match parent. So we have that, and our grid view is now ready. So we can go to our values and go to colors. So we want to add some 2 colors that we can use in the app. So to add the colors in the app, you'll simply come and say color. So you type color, press tab, you type color, then press tab, then color, you are going to give color a name which is required. So you're going to place 2 colors. So the first color we want is white, so we say white, and you're going to give it a hash code. So the hash code will be hash. So that's the white color. Then we're going to give it a gray color as well, a gray color that is you're going to use in the app. So you can simply come and say I want gray. Then you come and give the hash code for gray. So you can just say hash, then you can say maybe, so you can now come and choose gray. So you can, since I have the color code, I can just put here D3, D4, then you say D4, D4. So this is a simple gray color that we are going to be using in our app. So those are the 2 colors that you can add and that you're going to use in our application. So inside our background for main activity, that is the activity main.xml. So that background, the background of our app, we want it to be gray. So you can easily, so you can just come, then we can, so just go to the code. Then in our app, we can give the color. So we'll say background. So you just come, say background, and then background, you can just put a gray as our color. So the background of our app will be gray. So that's it with the grid view. I hope you've clearly understood what we can do or what we can use for the list view. So ensure you have that there. So now the next thing we are going to use, so you can close our colors and our activity main.xml. So the next thing we are going to do, we want to create a food ticket. So what the food ticket will do, the food ticket will assist us to pass items here. So you can see you have item 1, item 2. So in our app, we want to be able to pass different food items here, as many as possible. So for us, we have 6, so we want to be able to pass the 6. So we are going to create an activity, a layout called the food ticket. The food ticket will now, therefore, assist us to pass the different images, so, and give us a layout of the same. So we'll go to layout, then we'll create a new, then we say layout resource file. So you right click layout, then you go to, so I'll go through that again. So you right click layout, then you say new, then you say layout resource file. Then now in your layout resource file, you can come in and say, let me create a food. Then you say underscore ticket. So you create a food ticket that is going to pass the items. So once you create your food ticket there, then the next thing is we want now to pass the image and the text of the food. So we'll come to our food ticket here, and the first thing is change the layout. So we change our layout, and our layout, we use it as linear layout. So we're going to work with linear layout to make our work easier. So we can do linear layout, and let's have the orientation. So we can say orientation as vertical. So we have that for a start. So we have a linear layout. So the next thing is you're going to place a layout in here, another linear layout, and then place the image of a food and the text of the food. So you just come to your layouts, we pick a linear layout, vertical, then we place it there. So the linear layout, and we're going to place it there. So we're going to edit out the items in a bit. So inside this layout, you're going to place an image of the food. So you come to our image view, and we drag and we drop our image view there. So once we drag and drop our image view, we'll be able to find the image that we want to work with. So we want to work with this image, the coffee image. So you can press OK. So once you do that, you have the image of coffee. So now the first thing, we can give our image a height and a width so that it becomes standard. So we can say we have a height of 50 and a width of 50. So the size is actually the same. Then we can come and say we have our size there. So for our text view as well, we are going to drag and place a text view here to ensure we label the type of item we have. So we pick a text view. So we'll pick a text view and we place our text view there. So this text view will assist us to at least hold the name of the item for us. So for the text view, we can just come and say our text view. We can come and pick and give the text and say this is just coffee. So now we'll come to our linear layout, and so that it holds for us this, we are going to give wrap content so that it holds the content for us, and wrap content so that it does not occupy the whole space of the item. Similarly to this layout, we are going to say we are going to wrap the content, and we are going to wrap the content so it holds for us the item there. So now once we have that, we can now come to our text view. We can now easily come and we have our text view here. You can increase the size of the text. So you can say text size, I want it maybe to be 24 SP. Then you can also say I want it to be aligned in the center. So you can say gravity, then you come and say center. So your text will be at the center, and it will have a specific kind of width. So we have that. Then now the next is going to be giving our IDs to our image and ID to our text view. So ID for our image, you can call it image view. So you say IV, then you can say food image. So you say IV food image. So you give it as ID food image for our image view for food there. And then we have our text view. We are going to say TV name. So we can just say text view, then we say name, which is going to pass the names of the different kinds of food. So we can go to our code and see how it actually looks like. So we have the values here. So we can come to our layout. So inside our layout, we can say we want the padding. So we can give padding. So we are just giving values to the outer linear layout. So we come to the outer linear layout. So the outer linear layout, you're going to give it some background color, which is going to be gray. So you can say background, then we're going to say let it be gray. Then we can say the padding, so you can come and say we want some padding here. We want some padding. Then padding, we can say maybe let's give it at 3. So we are going to see it's going to really assist us in especially spacing out different food items. Then lastly, we can give it a width. So you can see in our main activity we had given it a width of 64, so it means this is 64, this is 64. So here also in our food ticket, so that the ticket fits properly well in this item 1, so you come to your food ticket and the layout, so this linear layout. So for the width, you can come and give it 60. So just go one, you can give it 64, 63, so you can say 63. So it will occupy that. So the next one will also be able to occupy that. So for the linear layout that is inside, we are going to now come in and give some values. So we can start with the gravity. We want it to be center, so you can say 100 gravity, then we say center. Then we can say the layout width, let it just match the parent, and the height also to match the parent. Then we are going to give it a background. So we are going to create a background for it. So to create a background for it, so what we want is to be able to have like curved background to be able to be inside that. So we want the background to be a bit curvy so that it's not just plain. So we'll just come to our drawable. So we come to our drawable, then we create a background dot XML. So I had created it before, so you create a background.xml, so you can just pause here and create a background for the same. So you create a background, you call in an item, then you call in the shape, then you can give it some corners. If you want it to be round, if you want it to be rectangular, you can just come in circular, you can just come and give it there. So you can take a moment, pause, and then you create a background. So you come to drawable, create background as we had explained in class, and then create your shape there for the background of the food ticket. So now for us, we'll simply come in and say now our background is going to be a drawable background. So now if we check our item, you can see that the background is white and it's a bit curved from the inside. If we just zoom in, so you can see how it is. So it's curved a bit inside and it is placed on a gray surface. So that's what we want to do, and that's the design that you're going to be using to pass our items into our activity and activity.xml. So once you have that, then now we can now directly go back to the front. Now we go to now do our backend, where now we are going to consolidate everything and pass our images and ensure that our app is working properly. So ensure you go through every step of the user design. So we have the user design front end. Then with the next video, we are going to explain the backend. So the first thing is ensure you have your images in your drawable, download images, and then create a background, put your colors inside colors, create your activity XML and put your grid, give it the right labels, create your food ticket and give it the right labels. Once you're done, you're ready to join us for the back end. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video as we try to explain how to now do the back end. Cheers.